right, we're back at the podcast. Mason Ho and Lucas Godfrey. We're super psyched to have you on the show, Lucas. You the man, and welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So today we're going to kind of start off the podcast with our best moments at Pipeline and our worst moments at Pipeline, because we all know Pipeline is a beauty and a beast all at the same time. And we've always, we're always like pushing the limits, but sometimes, Mother Nature takes over and lets us know who the boss is. I guess kind of maybe we'll start with Mason. What's your best moment at Pipeline?
Oh, my best moment ever?
Yeah.
Well, that I could think of at this moment, maybe?
Yeah, at this moment.
Yeah, because I feel like all three of us have a nice little bag of good moments, our best moments out there. But I don't know, if you asked me maybe my best moment out there.
It's too many, huh?
Well, yeah, no, I've had a couple cool or special ones, I feel like. But one that's really special, just kind of like it's like probing out at me a little bit, was one time I got to get into the Pipe Masters, and it's really hard for us locals to like get into the Pipe Masters. So I forget how old I was, maybe like 26 or something. And I remember I got in finally, and I used to grow up watching you do it, and I watched you win it before. So the dream always as a local is to like get in the event, beat all the best in the world and win it. And this one year I was kind of like making a bunch of heats. I made the trials. I think I made the trials with you this year. And then I got through, and I remember I got to a heat where it was like not the first losers round, but they used to have like a second losers round, like right before the quarters and all that. But anyway, I ended up getting one of like my best waves of my life, maybe one of the best waves of my life out there, just because
in a contest.
Yeah, it was for sure probably my best wave in a contest out there. But I ended up getting a nice wave, and I was against Parco and Jeremy Flores, and they're like two like surfers that I've looked up to and surf with, have a lot of respect for. So when I got my wave, I think it was a 10 or whatever.
I got a 10.
I hate hyping, but I ended up getting a nice wave. Yeah, and then I ended up like celebrating a little. Not my dad wasn't stoked, but I was pretty stoked. But
what do you mean you celebrated when you came out of the barrel?
Yeah, I did like, a little celebration that I got like fined a little bit. Or no, they didn't fine me. I ended up.
Oh, were you just sticking fingers at the judges after you came out?
No, I didn't go that route. I went. Well, I don't know if
Did you do this one?
No, it was actually super funny. I ended up doing my claim was like it was like a jester. It was like when I came out. Do I tell you what I wrote him in the letter? The lawyer?
Yeah.
Or do I
wait, what?
Well, it was great. I don't know if you remember, but I got this wave out there where I came out. I was trying my best not to get into this part. But I ended up coming out and doing like a gesture that they said that was like inappropriate, or
like a sexual gesture.
Maybe they don't say that, but no, they said it was a gesture that could like offend the audience or something.
Okay,
and then so. But when they said that, I was like, wait, I would never. That was the last thing I'd ever want to do, because I have so much respect for the audience. I just feel like I take so much pride in entertaining them, and making everyone happy. And I was like, wait, where did I mess up here? There's no way,
You probably didn't even remember doing that.
No, well, that's what happened was when I seen what happened, and I was like, oh wait, this is like technically it was their fault, because, well, pretty much long story. Long, I guess, or whatever.
Long story short.
Long story long. No,
long.
But I ended up like when I came out on the wave, I kind of went like this, like
whoop whoop,
whatever, whoop whoop, like yeah, like and then but the thing was I wrote in there like, hey, when you surf Pipeline, there's a super special feeling that like I don't think anyone could really relate to. And maybe we all kind of can, because we feel it sometimes. And I rarely feel it out there. And I search for it every day, all day.
Were you having sex with Pipeline?
No, none of those. Come on. Nah. But anyway, I just took off. And I remember, that feeling, when you come out of the barrel of like, and not just your average barrel, like maybe a good barrel for you, when you come out, there's a moment there. It could be 1 second long, could be, I don't know, for people it varies, but for me, it was like a second where I just like completely I was like so happy. I had no idea or no real, like, I just had like a barely control of my body. And I remember when I came out, I was like, oh my God, best feeling of my life. I'm going to do like 3 moments that I remember from the WSL, or from like my heroes, Andy. And so it's like, for me, it was a mix of 3 claims. Like, so when I grew up, I remember this one heat, Andy did the shotgun claim. Boom.
Yeah, I remember that. That was sick.
And that was kind of like classic and sick. And I remember when I came out, I was like, oh, shotgun. And then I'm like, no, not the shotgun. Because then right around then they were like, people were bumming out on these. Everyone was coming out doing these finger snaps. Ta, ta, ta. So I was like, oh, shotgun. And I'm like, no, finger snaps or whatever. And then I was like, oh, no, not finger snaps. Because that's not good. Or I don't like those ones, you know. I was like, but everyone's doing it. Finger snap. Your guy's fault. WSO. Inspired.
Yeah.
Satisfaction.
Okay.
Satisfaction. Yeah. And then right there, I went shotgun pump, finger snaps. And then what was the last one? But I remember there was a third one that went through my mind. And wait. Oh, fist pump. And so that's my favorite. One of my favorite ones. So when I came out, I was just like,
It was a mixture
shotgun
of three.
pump. It was a mixture. And when I wrote the people that, I was just like, hey, there's a feeling there you don't really feel. When I came out, I was literally thinking of your guys' show. I was thinking of entertaining. So I went shotgun, no. Finger snap, no. Fist pump, no. And it came out however it came out. And I sure don't mean to offend you guys because I wrote, hey, I've done the tour, the QS, and you know this, Jamie, because you've seen me do it. I said, I've tried to qualify for the Dream Tour my entire life. And I did that with pride. Like, I still am proud. I didn't make it.
Yeah.
But I spent all my money, and I wrote, hey, I didn't even make it, but I spent all my money. This is my dream. I made it to the platform. It's the dream. Boom. Last thing I wanted to offend anyone.
Yeah, right.
So I just kind of broke it down. Hey, I spent all this money. Let me get my prize money, please. Like, because it was fat. I got third that year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you lost in the semifinals.
Yeah.
Against Adriana DeCiso.
Yep.
I remember watching that.
Yep. So after that, I was like, fuck.
I was like vicariously like reliving my dream through your dream. I was like, oh my God, Mason's gonna make the final.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I remember I was kind of small backdoor.
Yeah.
Like,
on the final day.
Yeah, on the final day. And I was like, I know Mason's gonna if someone could find him, he's gonna find it. And it just you didn't find it.
You're the man, man.
That was tough.
No, yeah. That was like I felt like it was a learning experience for me because I've always been so blessed in my life. I feel like I've had a lot of beautiful opportunities in surfing, and some have taken full advantage or more, and some I've let go, you know, and I've had a little more than maybe a lot of my buddies. I've seen some of my buddies just have limited chances, and I'm just like, dang, you know, so I feel really blessed that I've had a bunch. And that was one of those chances where I felt like, I dropped the ball. And I feel like I was like, I prepared myself my whole life for that moment. Cause even when I showed up when it was flat, or I remember when I showed up and it was junk, backdoor, blah. And everyone was kind of like, oh, I heard people telling me the day before, whatever, oh, the forecast is junk now. Oh, it's going to be so junk. You're bummed. And I remember in my head, I just always smile and like, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, thank you. It's okay. Like, but when I go home, I was just like getting so psyched, like laughing, like, yes, they don't even know I surf. That's when I surf it. Like when it's all junk and small, or I love it when it's like, you know, before the winter starts, you're out there in the summer, you're like, you know what I mean? You're in the summertime or that fall, you know? So I was thinking, ooh, it looks like fall, make it rainy, make it on shore. I just want to slam the lip one time and make a heat, like, or give me a barrel, you know? But yeah, long story short, I remember I made the quarters. It was with like Adam Melling, and he's really gnarly. We've had like some good heats before, you know? And so I snuck past him on a grindy one. So I was thinking, ooh, it's good. Like, and then I came up against Adriano, and I love heats with Adriano because I've had a few of them before and after that. But so when I had him, I was like, yes, this is going to be the perfect story or perfect little tick for my story, you know, like, and then he's like, I think he was like, I was just a tick for his story because we had a super close heat. Like arguably I could have won or he could have won. Yeah. But you know, when you're up against the guy on the tour or even the world champ and you make it close, it's like, you're out of here, guy. The champ gets the nod, you know? So I feel like it was almost too close. And so when he got the nod, I knew it was defeat, you know. I wasn't bummed at all, but then it was a bummer because I always never wanted to walk up that beach at Pipeline and have like someone else win and
one heat away,
not me. Yeah. And then if I did win, I think I would have helped Mick Fanning win a world title, you know, and I just got on Rip Curl and Mick's my hero. And so it just felt like a lot of things were going that way, and I felt really good, but it was like a big learning experience for me. You know, it was like a humbling, nice, cool. I mean, it was pretty eggy. I feel like I almost could have won the Pipe Masters, but it was like a nice, cool, humbling experience for me. So.
You're on your way.
Yeah.
Sick. What about you, Lucas? Best moment at Pipeline?
Best moment at Pipeline? Honestly, probably was like when I was younger, like when I first got like my legitimate first solid backdoor barrel. Like I still vividly remember it, just like being scared and just like seeing this wave pop up and thought I was too deep, but just ended up going anyway and just got a pretty sick barrel for me at the time. And I just remember like that feeling just being super deep, having it kind of suck me back into the barrel and then started spinning, and I just came shooting out of it. Like, like I didn't even know what was happening. I was just like, maybe even eyes closed, just like, just like arms flying. And then I kicked out, and it just so happened that, it was like Wardo was paddling out, and then he was like, he was like, "Oh my God, Lucas, that was a sick one." And I was like mind blown. I'm like, how does Wardo even know what my name is? Because he's like one of my favorite surfers. I'm always like, just like kind of like skirting around, like probably like watching him surf. And then he's like, "Well, you know, it's who I am." And then he saw me get barreled, and then I got spit out right in front of him. And then now he's like saying, "Good job." And then I was just, it was just like, it's one
double
of those
whammy.
Yeah. It's like
barrel and hero nod.
and it's like this feeling of acceptance, because I feel like when you're like younger and like you're surfing out there, sometimes, you like, before you really like come into your own and really like get comfortable, you maybe don't feel accepted. You're just kind of like, the wave's scary, everyone's scary. You're just like sitting on the inside or the side, and maybe like even getting in the way, and you're just trying to like, oh my God, like just trying to maneuver around, and get your wave and not get in trouble. And then like when something like that happens, you're like, oh, like, am I in the club? Like
safety.
Like, am I accepted? Did I make it?
I love it. That's rad. Yeah. Can you pull that mic a little closer to you, Lucas?
Yeah.
Perfect. I guess for my best moment, like you said, there's a lot of those moments that you realize you could actually do it, and then getting through that barrier. But like, I think for me, like my biggest moment was winning the Hanson's Energy Pipe Pro.
Oh, I remember that.
I was probably like, like 18 or something. And I was like, oh, like the gnarliest guys. Like to me, the Bruce is just like the gnarliest. And Bruce is in the contest. You kind of already know when you look at the heat sheet, you're like, frick, at least I'm on the other side of the draw than Bruce is. Cause then maybe we'll meet up in the final and I don't have to like surf against him all the way to the final. Or at least I hope, right? And sure enough, I remember in the final, it's myself, Bruce Irons, Jamie Sterling, and Joel Santel.
Oh, I remember that. It was bombing.
It was
thick.
Freaking huge pipe, 10, 12 feet, second thick. Reef. Like I was like paddling. I remember paddling. I'm like, oh my God, I have my chance to beat Bruce Irons. Like that was all I wanted to do. I wasn't really worried about the other guys. I'm like, I have to beat Bruce. And I remember paddling out, and it was freaking huge. And Jamie Sterling's like paddling out on like an 8.6, like Ronnie Burns style. And I was like looking, I was like, oh, maybe I rode the wrong board. I'm like on a like a 6.8 or something, like a 6.8. And I was like looking around. Then me and Bruce were like fighting for like the inside ones, but catching all these 12-footers on the head. Cause that was the only way to get like a really good, steep, gnarly, like proper wave. Remember Bruce got a sick backdoor wave. I heard everyone like start screaming on the beach. I'm like, oh man. I got like a pretty good one. I got like a 7. And I remember just sitting there just going, please, Pipeline, please. After this huge closeout set, just pounded us both into the channel, got back out there. And I remember this wave popped up and Bruce was nowhere near me. And I was like, oh my God, this is the one. And I dropped in and I came off the bottom. The thing was like 10 foot, big barrel into another barrel, spit out. And I threw my hand on it, like boom. Like I was so psyched. I was like, oh, that's the one. I paddle back out and there's like freaking 2 minutes left in that thing. And they're like announcing that I'm in the lead. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the lead. And Bruce is like hunting down these waves, bro. Like looking left, right, anything. He's literally going to whip anything. And here comes this like 12-footer that misses a second reef and Bruce whips it, bro. And just pulls in.
Before priorities too, right?
Yeah.
Before, man.
Yeah. I remember. And he like just, and I was going to go, but I was just like, I was kind of scared because it was Bruce. I'm like, I don't want to like kind of mess with Bruce.
Yeah.
But it looked like a big closeout and I heard the whole beach roar. And I was like, oh, I just lost. But I found out when I got to the beach, Bruce ate shit on the wave. He didn't make it. Yeah.
Heavy.
And I just remember like getting to the beach and everyone's like, you won. I was like, no way. Like, and they announced it. And like, to me, it was more like, holy shit, I just won my first pipeline contest. Like that's like the start of the goal, right? And the goal is the Pipeline Masters. So like, it was just a cool feeling. I remember I felt like I was doing everything right, but then I was like holding the trophy, like dyslexic, like all backwards and stuff. Like I was just like super weird and funny, but like I just didn't even know how to act up on the big stage, and like sitting next to Bruce, and Bruce is like super pissed, like doesn't even like acknowledge he got second, you know?
True competitor, huh?
Yeah, and I think the best part about that too is like after that, the party at the house, because like, you know, and then Bruce ended up coming over and like giving me a hug and a little love, and like, you know, we're all just raging at the house, big party. Good DJ times. Like when you win a contest at Pipe, you go straight to Foodland, you load up the shopping cart with just tons of alcohol and food, and you just go send it and just have the best night ever.
Those are the best. Oh, just looking at that, when you're looking at that, the push cart all loaded with bottles. Those are the best. Luckily, I got to do that a couple times.
I used to do that all the time, and I didn't even win a contest.
You're winning every day. You're a life winner, bro. This guy.
That was every weekend.
You're the life winner.
Yeah, Foodland's like the only like place on the North Shore you could like go and like buy barbecue stuff and alcohol. Up, huh? So you kind of like, if you cruise in the Foodland at the right time, you'd know where the right party was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You just go in there in the evening to see whose carts clinking.
Yeah.
Just hang out in the parking lot.
Dude land. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break from the podcast and check in with our sponsors. You've probably heard of Viagra and Cialis. I know you're probably thinking like Cialis, Viagra. Yeah, but maybe you've even tried them. It's all good. I have tried them. Looking for something beyond the usual pill? Meet Rugiet Ready. Other companies rely on similar ingredients to support blood flow, but Rugiet Ready is the next gen of prescription treatment designed to help amplify arouse in the brain and increase the blood flow, boys. If the usual pills aren't doing the trick, Rugiet Ready could be the answer, gentlemen. It's a 3-in-1 formula, dissolves under the tongue and absorbs fast, so you'll be ready in just 15 minutes. That means you can stay confident, present, and in control when the moment is right. And you probably want the proof. Well, 150,000 men have made the switch, and you can read their customer reviews right on their site. And getting started is super simple. Rugiet connects you with a board certified doctor 100% online. And if you're subscribed, your treatment ships quickly to your door. That is so sweet. Connect with a provider at rugiet.com/JOB to see if Rugiet Ready prescription is right for you. Use code JOB to get 15% off today. That's rugiet.com/JOB and use promo code JOB to get 15% off today. Individual results may vary with prescription treatments. Compounded drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing reviews. Please visit Rugiet website for the full safety information. All right, Base, worst moment at Pipeline.
Worst moment?
Yeah. Wipeout.
I mean, to be honest, probably my worst one is just the recent one, kind of just because I've never slammed. I think I've like hit my face and my head at pipe before on the bottom, but I never like, it was more like just like a not a really violent hit, you know. It was just like a press or a touch, you know, or I've skittered my even my tooth before, and luckily it never, like, I don't know why or what, but it was never that bad. But for some reason this year I got a nice face dribbler. Like I felt like my face was like a basketball just going on the reef. And then after the first couple dribbles, I was like, hey, I give up. Like I'm knocking out, you know? So
gnarly.
That was a bad feeling for me. Anytime I feel like I'm going to knock out under the water is probably like one of my worst feelings. So that one was really bad. I ended up my face was all puffy and I had to go to the hospital and get all the stitches, and you checked on me.
Yeah.
How many stitches?
I think it was maybe it was like 5 on the top and 5 in the inside somewhere, but it was just like a little bit in my touchy little, I'm just a little touchy on the face, you know, like, oh, all right. But I'm a little wimp, I guess. But
I hit up Mason. I'm like, first off, are you all right? And he's like, yeah, I'm doing all right. And I'm like, I'm like, what podcast? He's like, no.
Because we were supposed to do one. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I was almost looked in the mirror. I'm like, wow, this would be a super sick podcast because my face is half watermelon on one side. Like,
probably hurts to talk though, right? Just moving your smile.
Well, when
away.
I'd smile and then
It would start cracking.
yeah, and I
like,
knew with this guy or with Annie, I'm like, so I'm going to be hurting. But
Start cracking up.
Yeah. I was like, maybe in a couple of days. We kind of jumped on there quick with Mike.
Yeah. That was sick.
Yeah.
It was still like a little bit bust
there,
up.
huh?
Yeah.
I know. I wish I got to come in with my bandage on and my hat, looking like a do-rag almost. I had one day I went out and ate dinner. I had to eat the dinner. I was like, it's the only way I'd wear this thing. I had like a
do-rag.
little head wrap with the hat. I was like, this is why they wear it like this. It looks styling.
Yeah.
But my face is like watermelon. So I don't know if
They thought you joined the gang. They're like, dude, what happened to
they're
Mason?
like, Mason's looking bad.
You joined the gang.
Yeah.
Initiation.
Right. But yeah, that was like a recent bad one. I've had a few other ones where I just pogo sticked on my tailbone and
Yeah.
probably a couple knee grinders and toes, almost lose a toe, just shredding it. But nothing like almost blacking out under there or whatever. Nothing like Lucas either, to be honest, or nothing like, how was that? I mean, were we going to ask Lucas too? Was that maybe the worst, your last, what happened? I'm almost scared asking about it just because it seems so serious and gnarly.
We were, what's the crazy part is Lucas like, well, we're out there after the contest. It was like firing for the contest all day. And we're just all froth. We're like none of us are in the contest. We just want to go paddle out and surf. We all timed it. Boom, all paddled out together. And then, I don't know. You could explain the little surf session.
Give me a 5 first before I was just like, I meant to ask you, was that the gnarliest thing that's ever happening at Pipeline or almost, or like?
Yeah, probably the gnarliest thing that's ever happened to me, period, I think. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Not even.
I never know because you're so gnarly. Like, so I was like, was that like half normal or no? Or was that gnarly?
Day,
yeah. I don't know. But that was really, we were all feeling it. Like the whole neighborhood or the whole community was all like rocked and like sad, like bummed, feeling it for you. Like I remember I was even like, I took a couple of days off. I think I remember I heard that and I was like, I'm usually not that affected because it happens all the time, or like people get hurt all the time. But for some reason, because I know you're just such a warrior that it like hit me different. When I heard you got hurt, I was like, oh, I feel it in my heart or something. Like I'm not moving as fast as I'm gonna tomorrow or the next day. And then my dad mentioned it, and then anyone who mentioned it was like everyone had like the ghost look in their face more than like the usual, because I think we all know how solid you are. So that was gnarly, and I'm happy you're right here with us.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was definitely probably the heaviest experience, just overall, just, with how painful it was and just where I ended up after. And
could we get a little, like a breakdown or like how, like he was breaking it down from him, but so it happened on the day of the contest, and what happened? Was it another day, or were you feeling a little eerie, or what was? I'm curious.
Yeah, it was just another day. Yeah. It was the finals day of the contest. The waves are pumping. I was texting Jamie all day. Like, how is it? And he's like, it's firing. And I was basically just like freaking out. And then I was actually surfing down the beach at a different spot that was like pretty good. And I was having a good time, and I was just, I was surfing hard in the sun all day. And I definitely like, I was definitely like tired, like when you're like just like surfing all day, and then like I'm also thinking like, oh yeah, and then afterwards I'm gonna surf over there, and then like, I think I was like thinking about a lot. I was doing a lot, and I was definitely like, by the time it came to go out a pipe, I was definitely just like, I was a little bit like exhausted, but like, it's just another day when the waves are pumping.
How many times you've done that before, right?
You just keep on surfing, and then, contest is over. I'm running out there, and ended up being probably my quickest session ever at Pipeline. I, paddled out with these guys, got into the lineup. First wave that came is just this kind of wedgy right, and I was looking at it, and it just looked like one of those waves that was really hard to catch, and it's just going to load up way on the inside.
Like a tidal surge.
Yeah, like a tidal surge. Yeah, it wasn't a tall wave, but there was just, it was just meaty and like underground and just going underneath. And like, I had kind of a thick board. I'm like, oh, I'm in there. I'm just going to like paddle as hard as I can. And I think someone was right next to me, and they're like, this is you, like you're out, it's like, I was kind of in this spot, but honestly, probably not in the spot after looking back now. But, I was like,
you felt good. How many, There's been a few times where I'm like, Pat, you're not in the spot, but then your perfect barrel spot. I'm like, oh yeah, he knows.
Yeah. So I was just chasing this thing down, like, you know, and then it kept going just like inside. And I'm just like paddling harder. And then there's like other people paddling and I'm like, no, like I'm going you know, like it may not look like I got it, but I'm going.
But trust me. Watch out. Yeah.
And then, I ended up getting into it, but maybe a little bit later than I wanted to. And it just, the wave was just kind of there and I was here and I was just kind of trying to do the catch up. I remember I was just like pumping and I'm like, oh, I'm deep and this wave looks shallow, but you know, we're doing this, you know, we're not going straight. We're not jumping. We're doing this. And then pulled in. And then, you know, once I got into the barrel, I was like, you know, it kind of did this like chandelier thing and it was barreling way down there. I don't even know if it closed out or not, but I'm like, I'm not making this, you know, like I've, you know, been in this situation before. And I'm like, so I was already looking for a way out of it. You know, I'm like, how do I get out of this situation? So I did like maybe a couple pumps and then like as the foam balls and the seas parting and then there's just like this black hole. I'm just going to jump for it. So I jump forward and I'll, you know, like my thought process is jump forward and just pop out the back and everything's good and surf all day.
Pop back up.
Get 10 more waves. But I jumped
into the hole.
I jumped into this hole and then I just felt myself going like up and over, like really quick. And I was just like, oh, this isn't good. And then my last kind of thought process was just get my feet underneath me and just, you know, cause I knew I was probably going to hit the reef and I knew I was moving quick. So I was just trying to get my feet, you know, I was just trying to not to land on my head.
Absorb it. Yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah. So I'm just like, get the feet underneath me. Like, just like protect the neck, protect the head.
Slam the feet. Who cares? Like just fuck.
And then, before I even really was processing that I was hitting the reef, it was like over, like I hit so quick and so hard, kind of in like a seated position with my leg folded under me.
You remember that?
Yeah. Like I remember like, cause I had scratches all up and down one of my legs. I kind of just I just slammed and like kind of just like kind of I felt like my body like crumpled. I just like hit
the malachi crunch.
Yeah, I hit my
no. Sorry.
I hit like on my ass so hard that like I felt my back just like give and I just like felt this like kind of almost, I can't even explain, like this popping sensation, electric shock, like it felt like you know, like I don't know, you know what a gunshot feels like, but it felt like, you know, like just something like that, just like this crazy
explosion of just like bad.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my God, like this is really bad. And I just, you know, I was just went full shock survival mode. And then I was just like, I got to get to the surface. I got to call for help.
You're fully conscious the whole time?
Fully conscious, boom, luckily. Boom. Yeah, but
you were like, oh, I'm effed, but get up there and
yeah, no, and then like I think like, you know, when you hit that reef that hard too, you almost like let go of all your air. You just like even if you have air like knocked out of you, you're just like, oh, you're like, what do I do now? Like I'm just like,
luckily it's so shallow there because you probably could have even still been sitting but still had your head up. Or right, kind of.
So something
kind of what happened. You're probably like
or like if that happened and then like it drove me like, you know, 15 feet underwater, it would not have been good. But like you said, like
might have been right there. But because you broke your back, right?
Yeah. I broke a couple vertebrae in the back, or like I did a bunch of damage to my back, but the L1 was the most significant. I had like a burst fracture, lost like 50% of my vertebrae, kind of just exploded. But yeah, it kind of just turned into like a survival situation. I was just, you know, like just trying to like hold on, and I was just like, I just got to get to the surface. Got to the surface and just started waving and kind of screaming. Luckily, like, you know, guys were watching and they saw me and I could see people moving towards me. And then like, when I saw that, I'm like, okay, like at least like chilling, at least like the boys know I'm here, you know, like I'm really hurt, but like they know something's up. You know, I seen people like jamming, which is like, honestly, like looking back, like I'm just like so grateful that like we all just have that camaraderie, you know, that like, you know, you see one of the boys go down and like, you know, like people are going to put their life in danger just trying to help you. That, you know, like doesn't even matter. There could be a 10 footer, a 20 footer, a 50 footer.
They were charging in. I looked back and I didn't know who it was. And I saw like one of the Monises and a couple of other people just going. And then boom, I just saw them bailing and like them getting caught inside. And then I didn't know it was you. They're grabbing you. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, what's happening in there? And the beach is whistling. Lifeguards are ripping down the beach. Like, It was crazy. You could keep going. I was just like, from my point of view, because I was out in the lineup with you. Like, but yeah, it was.
Yeah. So yeah. And then I remember I came up and I like, luckily my leash wasn't broken because that would have been a nightmare. Like my board is there. So I'm kind of like, I'm trying to get back on my board, but just the pain was crazy. Like I was like still there mentally. Like I was like, I was able to breathe and I was conscious, but just like the pain was so crazy. And then like any little movement, like I'm in the water and like the water's pushing me one way. I'm trying to move my arm. I'm trying to move my leg. And then just everything just like just was causing like this incredible pain that I've never experienced anything like that before. It kind of gave me a new understanding for like the threshold that's there and like the limits that are there. But yeah, just, I got on my board, was looking back out to sea, and here comes like another wave right on my head, of course, like, a pretty like bottomed out, wave. And I'm just like, okay. Like, so I let my board go and then I'm just getting throttled underwater. I basically like screaming underwater. I was just like, oh my God, this is horrible. Get back up, luckily get back on the board. I'm like at this point, I think I'm just like pointing my board towards the beach. And then like, there's another wave. This time I like just held onto my board. I'm like, I can't even like let go of my board. I'm like trying to use it as like a back. Yeah, I'm trying to use it as a backboard. I'm just like, I'm like hugging the thing. Like I'm like, oh, maybe if I squeeze the board tighter, it's going to hurt less. Cause like,
I'm even more slammed, right? But
and then the next wave hit me on my board and blew me off the board. Same thing. I'm just doing cartwheels.
Jeez, you might have broke, you know what? You might have like on impact, like kind of loosened, did something. And then on those, because it's so gnarly. And I bet you were so just trying to relax and like, in the hands. You're probably just like, whatever, that you probably went a couple extras. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like, growing up, like doing junior lifeguards and like EMT training, it's like, it's like spinal injury. It's like, C-spine, like keep them as straight as possible. Don't move. And then like, here I am just doing cartwheels, like on dry reef, just like being twisted, thrown around. It's like probably the worst thing that you could do directly after getting a spinal injury. It's just getting like pounded by 3 more waves. But I was just like, I was like literally just seeing red or seeing black. I like didn't even know what was happening. I was just like screaming and just like
screaming underwater. Yeah. You said earlier when you're like screaming underwater, I was like, oh, this is some real deal action right here. Yeah. Screaming underwater. You guys hear that? This guy broke his back and was underwater screaming, like, and then coming back up, just get me to the beach. Yeah. Boom again. Freaking, that's out of this world.
Yeah. And luckily, like, Josh Moniz, Jacob Sakili, and like even a couple of guys I don't even know. And I'm just like, wow, these guys are like heroes, but they just got me. Yeah. And like by this time, luckily too, like those waves are so horrible that like worked me, but what they did do, they pushed me in, especially the one where I got blown off the board. By that time, it pushed me in instead of out, which like, I think if I would have got like recycled, like off the wall style or like some kind of riptide thing and got sucked out the back, it just would have been like even worse. Or like, even Aokai, how sometimes it just keeps sucking you down the beach and like back out and you just can't get in. And luckily it just kind of pushed me into the lagoon and like, I was just suffering, but like, once I kind of got close to shore, I'm like, okay, like this is a horrible situation, but like,
your brain knew that it was like maybe the worst was somewhat over.
Yeah. Yeah. Until the ambulance ride. But
I was going to say like somewhat.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The ambulance ride sounded gnarly.
Yeah.
That's what, do we get to hear that one too? Or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
whoa.
This is so much worse than any of our injuries.
Jeez.
But yeah, but then the boys were there, like Josh and Jacob, they're like, oh, like we're, like, I don't even know what they were saying, but like, I was like, the boys are here, like whatever, like, I don't even know what's wrong with me, but the boys are here. So it's going to be okay. And then I can see the lifeguards running down and they're like kind of holding on my board. And I'm just like head down. It's like, I'm just like, just trying to like process and just hold it together. Like, and just trying not to move. Cause I knew that was probably the worst thing I could do. So I'm kind of just holding on my board. They bring me in. My good friend Keegan's right there. My other friend Chris Stacy's right there. All the North Shore lifeguards are right there. They put me they C-spine me out of the water, put me on a backboard, and then like put me on the sand, and then still a lot of pain. But I was like, okay, that's when I was like, okay, like like I'm gonna be fine, or like it's gonna be relatively fine. Like I'm I'm on the beach. I'm not in the water doing somersaults, and then And then I'm like looking at familiar faces on my friends, you know, and I'm like, okay, like, you know, like at least the boys are here. And then I'm like trying to smile, trying to hold it together. They're like, oh, like, they're like, can you move your toes? And like, can you feel this? And I'm like,
kinda.
And I'm like, yeah, but it hurts.
Yeah. Whoa.
And I'm just like, please, just like, let me just lay here. Like, I'm just like, and then they're like, okay, like they're like, no worries, you know, like we got you. And I was just like, oh, like, you know, like I was thinking so much pain. I'm just like, I don't know, like
this blown smithereens.
Yeah, I was just defeated. Yeah, and then the ambulance came and they loaded me up and
So they walked you up the beach because you're at Backdoor. Did you go up off the wall or okay?
Yeah, we went through off the wall. They put me in the ambulance and then they didn't give me painkillers.
Did you tell them no or what? You're just like,
I probably would have took them. Like I don't know. It's just kind of like they kind of made the call for me.
Yeah.
And I don't even like know like that. I know that's not really my department, but I think looking back, I think they made the right choice. But it was just the reason that they kind of were telling. I could hear them telling my family.
Yeah.
Was like that. Like they didn't want to give me too much medication because it might interfere with my diagnosis once I got to the emergency room. Sense, yeah. You know, they wanted to be able to diagnose how my sensations were in my legs because
if you took the certain medicine, you might be able to move your toes all fine, but really when it wears off, you're maybe more bust up.
Yeah, and the big thing about spinal injuries is like the potential for neurological damage and stuff. And so and I think too much medication or something like that can like interfere with that. So then we ended up driving all the way to Queens on no painkillers, and I was just bouncing around in the back of the ambulance strapped to a backboard. We're like turning.
That was before the road work too, bro.
The worst roads in the world we have in Hawaii.
Well, now they're mental.
They're getting better, but the traffic's a nightmare.
But last year when this happened with you, there's a couple spots still.
Shout out to the Department of Transportation.
Yeah, we like the new roads. We don't like the traffic though, but you guys seems like you guys got it working on your theories, but those new roads are mean in the country over here.
Yeah.
You know what's hilarious? I knew when we were at Waimea Bay, I was like the whole ambulance just like boom, boom,
that's
boom,
the patch. Yeah, they know.
I'm just like on the back, just like ba 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 ba.
Like, we're only at Waimea. Fuck.
And then like
you're heavy.
And then it's also like 4 or 5 p.m. too, like which is traffic time, right? So
get out of the way, guys.
Yeah, we're like speed up, slow down, turn, pothole, and I'm just like, I'm literally like I was in so much. I couldn't breathe because like just like the way the diaphragm expands was like putting pressure on my injury or something. Like I was literally like holding my breath, just trying to like take little sips of air, and then like we hit a pothole, and I'm like, and then the EMT, I like actually know him, and he's like this guy Tanner, and he's super cool, and he's like I could tell he's like feeling for me. He's like, you got this, Lucas, like like I feel for you, like you got this, like he was like supporting me, and I was
driver, come on,
and I was like stoked he was there. I was just like okay, like it's sick. like Tanner's here, like we got this, but I was just like I was just like
this is effed.
Yeah, I was just like stare, like I would just like pick this spot and just stare at it and just be like I don't even it was crazy. It was crazy. It was definitely like a spiritual experience and never had anything like that, and a lot more respect for, pain and just life in general, and grateful for the healthy moments and the good moments, because it really opened my eyes to, like how situations can unfold and, or like just how you can find yourself in a situation like that and just kind of be in a state of suffering to where like, it's just hard to like, it's hard to accept, and it's hard to, just like, maintain the positivity, just through something like that, because you're just like, it's just so traumatic, and like, you're like, okay, I just got to be strong for like my family and my friends and try to be positive and get through this. But it's like, just like there's just so much pain and just, turmoil. It's like, it's crazy. It's like the ultimate test, it's ultimate test to like, try to like, just, I guess just survive, but you don't really have a choice. You just kind of have to handle it, but it was a crazy experience, definitely an eye opener, but
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break from the podcast and check in with our sponsors at Balance of Nature. So let me tell you about this, though. This is so good. I tried it the other day, and it is everything I ever needed from, supplements, dietary supplements. It's all in one. I love seeing ingredients that are super simple, from fruits, vegetables, spices, fibers. It just, this right here, you mix this little guy up right here and it makes you feel incredible. These guys got little things that are little pill versions that you just, drink down with some water that has papayas, you name it. Everything is in these, and it will give you so much, just so much more life throughout the day. The vegetable supplement is made of ingredients of whole celery, whole spinach, whole cauliflower, and shiitake mushrooms. It really has everything you need. It's just the kale, the cauliflower, you name it, the zucchinis, that's all in here. This is your answer. I promise this will keep you psyched. And yeah, I love how convenient Balance of Nature supplements are, because it really helps me stay on track, trying to stay in shape and stay with my wellness goals. That is number one. So go to balanceofnature.com and use promo code JOB for 35% off. That's right, JOB for 35% off your first order as a preferred customer, and get a free bottle of fiber and spice. Now back to the podcast.
The people at Queens were awesome. We got there, they rushed me in there, had I think it's called a trauma team, then they started, doing their evaluation, gave me a bunch of painkillers, fentanyl, dilaudid morphine. And then and then that.
Wait, all of those?
I think yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I think they gave me morphine first, and I felt a little better, but it still hurt really bad. And then they're like, cause they're like, what's your pain level at? I'm like, 10.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, give him morphine. Then they're like, what's your pain level at now? I'm like, 10. And then they're like, okay, give him the fentanyl. And they're like, what's your pain level at now? I'm like, 10.
10 still?
And they're like, give him more fentanyl. And then one after that,
9.
Or what? No, after that, I literally I think it's just the medication. I literally felt this blanket of pain, just from my head, just
kind of leave a little bit, like a blanket of
pain.
pain.
It was almost like this evil spirit was being sucked out of my body.
Yes.
It's this craziest,
out.
Yes, it's crazy sensation. And I'm just whoa, this is nuts.
We shouldn't even put this in here. That's why people get hooked on that stuff. It sounds like that's a no. My boy was in big pain.
For sure. And
that's interesting though. That was you're right. It sounds spiritual, and what part I liked when you were saying all this is and I really felt I related with you, because I was in there with you. It felt while you're saying it was when you said you got a new appreciation for life.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just sounds, you could take it you could take it how whatever lightly, but you could also, if you think about that, to me that was super crazy, because I would think, I was just trying to put myself in your shoes, I was like, I'd just be trying to breathe. And then you're like, can I breathe? I cannot breathe. Or I couldn't. So I'd go, okay. I'd do what, and then you said you had to almost hold your breath and find these pockets of pain or less pain in your breath, and go through. And I've had stuff like that, so I'm he's holding his breath through the bumps, because I've had broken arm or all this stuff, but I'm like, okay, the back, whoa, trying to be with you, but then when you're I had a good appreciate, or you pause for a second, and I was like, I wanted to just say life, but then you were life, and but I was like, whoa, that's gnarly. You went to that place where I feel maybe we had some tastes, and it's really life. You have a real you almost die, but that sounds like another level of even having to take all that, I don't even want to rename some of those medicines you have to take, because they're just so gnarly. Like you said, a dark spirit left you, but it's just crazy. You had to go and take those things, to find, maybe that's why they make those, is because for your situation, and you got to take it, and I don't know, I'm just blown away, bro.
And it's crazy. It's crazy, because I feel you really have to treat that type of medication with so much respect. Yeah. And there is a time and place for it. Yeah. And I feel I'm usually pretty healthy. I don't really like taking medication. I'm always kind of skeptical of a lot of things. People, if I go to the, if I don't, I'm always, I feel I'm kind of weird. Sometimes I,
Wait, with that stuff. Yeah.
Like they're like,
though.
okay, go take this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, should I take that? Like,
Do some homework on it first.
Yeah. Like
that's good. That's
exactly.
smart, I think. Yeah.
Like, I like to eat a lot of fruits and like, like fresh.
You'll try
fresh
go natural
meats.
before you take the chop.
Exactly. But when they were gonna give me painkillers, I was like, please, I was like begging for it. I was like, please, like anything you got, like
10.
like
10,
if it's gonna make this situation more comfortable, like I'll do it.
I'm
like
down right now,
like let's
seen the light.
let's go. Like please, like I was basically
crazy. You went there, man.
Gnarly.
Yeah, and
well, I mean, I think too, like, thanks to everyone that like supported Lucas's GoFundMe, because it like really helped him so much. I remember. So probably a lot of people that are listening to this, thank you for helping them.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the amount of like support I got through this injury was really, it was just, I felt so grateful for like everyone who, I feel like you don't really realize how many people care about you till like sometimes you're put in a situation like that, just like the way life is. And, we're all on our like separate paths, but like, like when I went through this injury, I just, like the amount of people that came to visit me and like reached out to me and like supported me and like, like said prayers. It was just like overwhelming, I was like, wow, like, to have this much love and energy and like positivity coming from so many different angles, like it made me like, like just so grateful for all these people in my life,
like feel like now I understand like they're like, it's like a reason to come back and they quicken the comeback.
Exactly.
Like, I love you guys.
Yeah. Cause it's really easy to fall into like this negative kind of mind space where you're like, wow, like why was it me that got to get hurt?
Yeah.
Like, why did I have to break my back? Like, will I ever surf again? Like, why did I go on that wave? And like, why did I, why did I jump that way? It's like, you can like, why did I ride that board?
Yeah,
why did I paddle out at 4:55? It's like you can go all day, like blaming yourself and like asking why and like kind of bumming yourself out on like all these different details that like led you up to like an injury like this. But like, I feel like all the people and like support that I was receiving and also the experience in itself, like I just started like almost like trying to transform it into like this positive experience.
Yeah.
Okay. Like maybe I wouldn't know so much about my body if I hadn't gone through this, or maybe I wouldn't appreciate life so much more now that I've like been through this. And it kind of, it gave me a new understanding. And like, I like to like think that everything, happens for a reason, so I'm like, okay, like, I surf pipeline. I broke my back surfing pipeline. It's unfortunate. Like, life's going to be, different, at least for, a little bit, but like, what can I learn from this? Like, how can I use the situation to become a better person, to become a better friend, to become like the person I want to be, like it's like, it kind of gave me like this new drive just to like, okay, like, like learn what you can and, better yourself and be healthy. And
it's like a rebirth. It sounds like a positive, like just a pure positivity rebirth. Like appreciation. Like
and that's just like that was just like the way
a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, it's like just the way I learned to cope with it, because I was like stuck on a bed for 3 months, plus even, and like I was in a back brace. I like, like at first I couldn't even like get up to go to the bathroom, like I was like literally like I felt like I was a mummy. I was like when you injure your back, you move your leg, it hurts. You move your arm, it hurts. You like, you lay there and it hurts. Like I was like, I was like waking up in the middle of the night, painkillers wearing off. I'm like calling I don't even know where I'm like on medication. I'm like no one, like no one's there. I'm all alone in the dark. Like I'm like coming out of a nightmare. Like, where am I? Who am I? Like, what happened? Like,
I thought of you a couple times randomly.
Yeah. It's like
I remember after, it just hit me, or it'd be like, maybe I'd just wake up in the morning or something, I just remember I'd be like, oh, how's Lucas, or I hope Lucas is doing, and I'd say a little, but I thought of you a few times and like I was saying, the neighborhood, like, or I wasn't surprised when you got all that support, cause the neighborhood, I feel like it like hit close to home, cause you're one of our positive lights around the neighborhood, for not only the ocean, but on the land. Like you said, you like the fruits, you do your thing, so you're like, everyone is down with Lucas, you know? So when you were hurt, when you were down, we were all kind of down, you know? Like I was saying, my dad is like, make sure he's okay. I'm like, I know. Like I have her, I've been doing some check-ins and figuring it out, but we were all worried for you.
Yeah. I mean, like Lucas, like still to this day, like really hasn't surfed in 8 months. So like, that's how serious this injury is. It's the gnarliest injury besides dying that you could probably experience at Pipeline, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Wait, so that was my next question is like, how are you doing now? Because it's been 8 months, you said, right?
Or we're almost 6.
7?
Almost
Okay,
6. Almost 6
sorry.
months.
Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah.
A little ahead of schedule.
Yeah. Time flies,
though,
you know, and it's like we're almost like at the end of
6.
summer, and like Jamie said, you know, like I actually just surfed for like the first time the other day on a longboard and paddling around, and
Whoa.
you know, like my I still have a lot of back pain, but you know, I'm just trying to.
Is it like, do you have back pain or is it like stiffness? Or is it
kind
some pain?
of both, you know.
Yeah.
At first it was like real
gnarly,
weight.
bro. 6 months.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy, you know, and you know, at first it was wild. You know, I was in the brace, I could barely move, and then you know, it's like slowly getting better, and like the whole thing, it's like these little victories, you know. It's like it's like today, like I can like roll over on my side and chill on my side for a little bit, and it's like today I learned how to like sit up out of my bed, and like today I learned how to stand up out of my bed with a walker, and then like today now I'm like inching towards the bathroom, and like
you're probably pushing it too, or you're probably a mad dog like you're in the water too. You're probably like, okay, I went this side, I'm going this side too. I only learned my left side roll today. I'll learn right side day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You know, and then yeah, and then you know the recovery's tough too, because you know, just like having to, you know, I'm a pretty active person, and then you know, it's almost like I just hit this wall, and then now I'm just like, you know, just still, you know, months and months of just laying there, you know. I'm like, okay, like, you know, what do I do now? Like, okay, like I try to learn about stuff. I'd meditate, you know, do breath work, like move my legs a tiny bit, you know, a little bit, like, you know, like walk outside of the walker, get some sunlight, and, you know, just try to like use my time positively, you know, but it's hard, you know, when you can't really like,
right.
You know, you can't make food, you can't make yourself food, you know, you can't like bathe yourself. You're just kind of, you know, it can get frustrating, you know.
Thanks, Hannah.
Yeah, you know,
his girlfriend.
Yeah, luckily I have like an amazing girlfriend and family and friends, you know, and like really like,
awesome.
Like, you know, I couldn't imagine if I lived by myself, or, you know, like was in a place where, you know, I didn't have like close people around me, you know. It's like, it can be really hard, you know, it can be, you know, harder even, you know, so.
Seems gnarly, bro.
Well,
but
that's gnarly.
You're here and you don't smell or nothing, bro. You look all tan, bro. Like I got an ass.
It's like he didn't miss a beat, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. When I seen you, I was like, oh, he's on.
Yeah.
He's back.
I think kind of like going back to the why thing is like, why me? Why did I do this? Why, like it's why? And then injuries, right? It's like when I broke my leg at Pipeline going right at back, or actually I broke my first leg going right at Backdoor, and I was super like whatever. I took this late drop and the lip landed on my head and power drive me to the reef. Then it like my board kind of moved to the side, and then my leg went in a pretty tight hole, and then just went pop, just broke my leg. And I remember just literally going in the cave, pop, and I was like, oh, and I knew something happened. I was like, ooh, that was bad. And I'm like swimming in the beach, and I'm like thinking like, oh, why me? Why did I get hurt? Like I just start, like, you know what I mean? I was just like trying to like just start to get in there and get some good waves at Backdoor. And then boom, I just shattered all my dreams. I remember on the beach crawling up, like asking for help, like couldn't walk. And my dad pulls up on the freaking the quad, the ATV, because he was lifeguarding. He's like, get on the quad. I'm like, I need help. He's like, get on the quad. And I was like, I remember like kind of like hobbling on one foot. And he's like, you're fine.
Legend.
Yeah, you're fine. And it drives me up the beach, up to Elkai Beach, like which is like a 1 minute quad ride. And I remember just like kind of like this is nothing like Lucas' story. Like you're hitting all these like sand potholes, like pull up to the showers, like the coldest showers on the North Shore, like Elkai Beach Park showers.
Yep, shocking.
Boom. He's like, go shower. I'm like, I can't go. And he just started spraying me off with the hose. And I'm like, just all sandy because I crawled up the beach. And I'm like, oh, he's like, you're fine. Your leg's not broken. I'm like, it's broken. I remember going to bed that night, like, oh, my leg's broken.
Wait, you didn't even go to the hospital?
No, he says not broken.
Yeah, Dad, you got to listen to Dad.
Yeah, he's like,
wait, how old were you? Like 17, 16?
No, I was like 15.
Oh my gosh.
14.
So that little twig leg.
Bro, I got a
Now they're
picture.
huge
I had
ones.
blue hair somehow at that time. Like
I think I remember that. I remember.
and I remember going to bed. I woke up and I just woke up. My freaking leg was poof. And he's like, "Oh, we better go to the hospital." And I'm like, "All right, we're going to the hospital." And I got to the hospital and I was like, they're like, "Oh yeah, it's broken." I was like, "Oh,
That's
no."
a funny one. But
Yeah, and I was like, but it wasn't funny because I was like super bummed that I broke my leg,
That's not
and
funny.
I couldn't surf, and then I was like, oh wow, that sucks. Like, boom, 2 years later, freaking at pipe, bro. My dad's like, "Get out there, the whites are firing," and I'm like, "Oh my god, I don't know, I'm just kind of cruising." Me and my friend Clint Kimmons were like just hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Clint were like hanging out in the yard. My dad's like, "Get out there." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. It's kind of weird." It's kind of like, you know, when it's like kind of early season and pipe's kind of like going like this with the backwash.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of backwash. He's like, "Oh, the photographer's on the beach."
And
you
it's
know?
pretty for the photos
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. And I was like,
Wow.
"Oh, I'll just paddle out, whatever." He's like rousting me.
Pops.
Paddle out. Boom. I remember first way pulling the barrel, freaking pop, foam ball, backwash, foam ball, compress, boom. Freaking bam, this thing, boom. It like
Oh.
spiral fractured on my leg right here. And I remember same thing. I was like underwater, like holding it, like, oh my God. It was like this throbbing pain. And like I had to swim under all the other waves. And it was just like every time I'd swim under, it would be like moving. I'm like, like screaming underwater like
That's the
Lucas. And I was like,
gnarliest.
no. I'm like swimming to the beach, like one-handed, like, and like boom, get to the beach.
Pops.
Bruh. I'm like, help. And like people are kind of like, help me up on that thing. And my dad's like looking down. He's like, "Oh, get up into the house." I'm like, "I can't. I broke my leg." And he doesn't believe me again. Bro, I'm like, "I
Get up in the
can't." Bro, I'm
house.
like, I crawl halfway up and then like the boys come down and my dad helps
Put
me
you on the
up.
shoulders. Yeah.
Bro,
Walk
bring
you up to
me
the house.
up. Boom.
Straight to the hospital this time.
Straight to the hospital.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh my God, why me? Why that wave? Why did I even surf? I didn't want to surf. Why? Like,
Hawaii.
bro, I remember, bro, and I'm so bummed, bro. And I'm like sitting there, like, boom. They're like, "Yeah, it's a spiral fracture. Might have to get surgery." "Oh, yes, surgery." And I was just like, "No, I don't want surgery." Boom. They did like put a plate, 5 screws. And then as I'm getting better, it's like 3 months into the injury. And then I remember I was like 16. I had to go down to the Turtle Bay for like, I had to touch the water to surf in the nationals. They're like, "You need to
You're
touch."
still that young and you broke your leg twice already?
Yeah. And they're like, "You need to touch the water before you can go compete
Hammer.
in California at the nationals. If you don't touch the water, you can't compete."
So you went and did it, touched it.
So I went and touched the water. Then I went up in the Turtle Bay Hotel
Yeah.
and with my crutches, one leg,
Yeah.
on the way down, boom,
No.
slipped.
I think I even heard this story,
Bro,
man.
how's this one? Slip, bang. I was like trying to protect the other leg.
Yeah.
So then the cast landed on the other leg and then just power drive it into the concrete. But I was like tripping and I looked at my friend Ruben. I'm like, "Ruben, I can't walk."
Rubes. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, he's like, "Shut up, get up, bro. Let's go, bro." I'm like, "Bro, I can't walk, bro. Ruben, please." He's like, "Really?" And the security picked me up in their golf cart and then drove me to the truck. And then I was like, "Take me to the hospital right now." So like 3 weeks later, I'm already going back to the hospital after my surgery. And then Kahuku Hospital. That's where I was born, but also known to be notoriously the worst hospital.
Wait, you were born there?
I was born in Kahuku.
That's sick. I don't know if they do that anymore, right?
No, they don't do that.
And Christian Fletcher was born there too.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
It's like this little like town, like probably 10 minutes from Pipeline.
Yeah, it's
like,
the closest hospital.
closest, but you don't
That's
like,
where I got my face stitched up.
yeah, but you should always just go to Wahiwa.
I know that's it. Or yeah, I don't know.
So they go like this. They go, "Oh, Brian, you broke your other leg." And I'm like, "Shut up, bro." I'm like, I remember just sitting in the hospital, just crying. I was like, "No, I don't know, 2 broken legs, bro." They wrapped me up in 2 casts.
Wait, so you broke it? They said you broke it?
That's what they said.
Oh yeah, no.
And so then I rolled out in a wheelchair and I was like, "How am I going to use the bathroom?" I remember like just being at the house, like where I was at the house and I couldn't walk and I couldn't go to the bathroom. So I just like eat Cheerios and then I just had this like big, like 5-gallon like milk jug and I would just pee in the thing because I couldn't go.
What about the other? Just blow out in there too? The pee is mellow. Yeah, I would have.
They'd carry me over there and kind of drop me and then leave me in there.
You do one a day, minor.
Yeah.
Just carry me once a day.
Ruben.
Rubes. Yeah, Rubes.
But yeah,
Miss that guy.
it was kind of crazy. Then like 2 weeks, I was just in the cast, and then they're like, oh, we got to go to like a better hospital, like get another X-ray on it because they need to let the swelling to go down before they could actually do surgery.
For sure.
And they're like, oh, you kind of just sprained it. Like there's nothing wrong. So there for 2 weeks, I was like crying that I broke my ankle in a cast. But they're like, oh, you could start to walk on it. It's like a medium sprain. Maybe it was good.
Your sprain, you kept it all still. Maybe like it blessing in disguise.
Yeah, but it's kind of crazy. Like, just going from two broken legs at the age of like 17. I was just like, dude, like pipeline's gnarly. Really. And then freaking the next winter, I remember like the scar, like in scars right here. I pulled in the barrel of pipe and this donkey like tried to duck dive and his board shot out backwards and it hit me right here in my scar and it hurt so bad and it broke it open. Like it's so gnarly to like re-break like a scab open. Yeah, I just did that. And I remember I was in pain and I thought I broke my leg again because it like hit it, but it hit the plate.
It didn't mess
with it. Hit the plate and the screws and it was fine.
Oh, that's sick.
And they're like, you want to take the plate and the screws out? I was like, no way, bro. Leave it in. I'm going to leave it in there. Still in there.
Wow.
I got five screws and a plate. Before it went.
Oh, and you've been so flexible your whole life and that you had broken legs when you were a kid, plates, everything, and you've still stayed so flexible throughout your whole career.
Lucky.
That's mental.
I've been knocked out a couple times.
Been knocked out a couple
times on the reef, boom, freaking hit my head, man. Wake up, like, where am I?
What the heck?
And
flash knockout?
Flash knockouts, yeah.
I had some, not funny, but about one time I remember jumping off the wave, like I was jumping over the falls, and I remember, and it wasn't like that big of a wave, and I remember right when I was hitting the water, I hit the water, boom, and I just remember right when I came up, I remember coming up and just like, I just remember right when I came to or whatever, I just remember I went, oh, like I was just bracing for impact. But then I realized I'm like, oh, and then I went, what the heck? Like I already came up from the wave. So I thought about it, I'm like, oh, I think I knocked out. But I like came right up or got lucky, Yeah. But it was a weird one. I was like, oh, flash knockout. Man.
That's gnarly. All right, we're going to take a quick break from the podcast and wanted to say a huge shout out to Tushy Bidets. Bro, let me tell you, I am such a big fan of these things. I've had one before they even sponsored the podcast. Man, when you walk up to your toilet and you press a button and the seat lifts for you, you're like, whoa, that was sick. And then you walk away and then seat drops. Boom, when you sit down in your toilet and that thing is nice and warm on your butt, you are so happy. You are enjoying every moment of sitting on this tushy. Let me tell you. Time to rethink how we are caring about our swampy body parts. Get your tushy bidet ASAP. I promise you, there's something so much better than wiping your butt with toilet paper. It is water. It makes you like feel like you're taking a shower. You walk away from this whole toilet thing clean and you are psyched to get out there on the road. And most importantly, the install process is super simple. It is something that you could set up within, I don't know. It depends how good you are, but you could set up in 15, 20 minutes and then you are up and running. And I promise you, this thing's going to change your life. Like if there's anything that changed my life in my house, it is this Tushy bidet, bro. This thing is crip. I promise you. All Tushy bidets easily attached to your existing toilet seats without the need for additional plumbing. Pretty cool. It's also easy to use. Sit down, clean, and dry using the built-in air dryer. That's right. Cleaning yourself after using the bathroom is now hands-free. And most importantly, every Hello Tushy bidet comes with a 30-day hassle-free return and a 12-month warranty. So if you try it and you love it, then you're going to keep it. That's what's up. Keep your swamp body parts fresh and cool for a limited of time. Our listeners are going to get 10% off their first bidet. Order when you use code JOB at checkout. That's 10% off for your first bidet. Order hellotushy.com and use promo code JOB. Thanks again for supporting our show. This goes a long way. We're going to jump right back into the podcast. Make sure you check the link in the description below. Pipeline's like so gnarly. Like Lucas is earlier is like telling me, he's like, well, no injury guy. Like, it's just like, I definitely ride a lot less waves, but I surf out there just as much, maybe not as much as him, but like just as much as anybody else. But I when I paddle at the pipeline, I probably ride like 5 or 6 waves.
Yeah.
Like Lucas rides like 30 waves. Like the guy's wave count's psycho.
You get 5 or 6 like gnarly waves. You can't just say it. You get like 10, you get, I think maybe like, we'll just say 15, maybe I want to say 30, but you get 15, but you get like what, 6 freaking like 10, 8-pointers, 9-pointer, 10-pointers.
Just like you. But then
I try sometimes.
But then Lucas is always like whipping the wave that I'm like looking at him, I'm like, and he's like, he's already going. He's like head down going. I'm like, you could have it. Like,
he'll get plenty of good scores too, right?
Yeah.
Or you're gnarly too. And you're right. You're like, hey, is anyone, a couple times, I remember a few times you're like, are you going? Are you Jamie? Are you like, give us our chance? And sometimes I'm like, no, I'm cruising. And all of a sudden, poof.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, I should have maybe tried.
Just to
keep the rhythm
clips.
going.
You see the clips after, you're like, oh my God, that wave I let Lucas go on was psycho.
Yeah, it was cool, man.
Yeah.
It looked like a little, but you're like active. That's why when you were explaining your injury, what happened, I was like, dang, it's just crazy because like we all just go on these waves and you never know which ones are the bad ones or which ones are dangerous. And yeah, it's just when you were going, I was imagining you like, I'm like, frick, you go on all these crazy ones. It's crazy. I wonder how crazy that one must have been or if it even was. Or sometimes you hear these stories where the wave's not that crazy, but you just fall in the wrong spot or something happens. Yeah, it's
wrong
so
place,
weird.
wrong time.
Wrong place, wrong time.
That happens. It doesn't need to be like massive pipeline either. Like
not at all.
Like living at pipeline my whole life and like being like there 24/7. The most worst injuries I've ever seen, all under 6 feet.
Yeah, I agree.
All
with
under
you.
6 feet.
All my friends that actually got really hurt out there that I've actually it hit. Like I was like, oh, for the most part, it's been that 6 feet.
Yeah.
Like,
I broke my right leg going right at backdoor on a 5-footer. I broke my left leg on at pipe on a 5-footer.
The 5 foot.
Like, yeah, I don't know why. It just maybe it's just that perfect ratio where it's like the wave is like, just big enough and it's just shallow. It's more shallow.
Yeah, move
like,
somewhere weird, huh? Or something. 'Cause some of those bigger ones, it's like, bro, that wave's got so much power. How did I survive that?
Yeah, you just pop out the back sometimes.
Yeah,
you're like,
how did this guy handle and the physics of the ocean and the body, the human body. We fall so much. It's like, okay, I have a good clue, and then some of them you just see people live. You're like, or you see people get through, and even you do it yourself. And you're like, how in the world? But then those small ones will just get you, huh? It's so weird.
It's just gnarly.
Creepy.
So what, Lucas, you still claim North Shore Underground?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick. That's for life, bro.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But I feel like
we got to still claim that too, huh?
We're all part of the underground.
We got a show. Even though we got, damn it. Now we got a show.
We are the underground.
Yeah.
Can't stop the underground.
Right.
Yeah.
Lucas truly reps the right.
Doesn't matter where Lucas is. He's always on like the biggest, baddest wave. Like North Shore Underground. We'll just show up at freaking Porto Escondido and get the most psycho wave you saw all summer. Like he shows up at freaking like any wave, Keiki Shore Breaks. He gets the most psycho one ever. I'm like, how do you even make that drop, bro?
And he'll throw some style in that thing.
Yeah.
He ain't just surviving.
Steezy, styly. If you guys are looking for someone to sponsor, please sponsor this guy.
He's probably making it out the barrel too.
Yeah, guaranteed. I was always like thinking in my mind, I'm like, if Lucas gets in one of these pipe contests, he's gonna do big damage.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah.
I've been dreading. And I've actually been dreaming. To be honest, it's funny because I've been dreaming because I want to watch you out there under the clock, because I watch you surf out there all the time, free surfing, and I enjoy watching you out there, and you do good without the clock. Or there's like no clock going and you're just bah, bah, bah. I'm always like, if you give this guy a clock and an opportunity, and it's gonna be dangerous, and then I'm always like, I want to see that. And then right when it comes close, I'm like, ooh, am I gonna see it? Is he gonna be in my heat? Oh shit. So that's why it's the dreading part. But mostly I'm dreaming to see that out there.
Yeah, that was actually one of the things that I was wanting to talk about. Because do you guys think that it's hard for like a surfer like myself to get into a contest at pipe? Because I think at the moment there's no regional.
Dude, I can't even get in. Jamie almost can't get, or like it's so gnarly
because there's no regional QS at pipe that like any Hawaiian surfer with not too many QS points can just pay a couple $100 and enter, right?
Well, I feel like we lost a grip a little. I don't know who's
the
we, or I don't know who's doing bad or everything. I love everyone.
It's not us.
But it's like it's not but
us.
I don't know who or what. but it's so hard because I'm like you, or like you, there's like there's levels. We're all like, it's all high level, you know, but there's layers here that are all should be out there trying, you know, and it feels like back in the day they were, and you could see like some beautiful art out at Pipe.
And you know, I think it's crazy too, because I feel like there's almost a contest every month at Pipe. So, you know, if you're a surfer like me, you kind of have to surf around a contest waiting period almost all winter long, but you'll never really get an opportunity to actually surf in the contest.
Yeah.
You know,
so it's like, you're like,
it's politics, it's bullshit, it's sponsors, it's corporate, it's fucking vans, it's all of it. Like I swear, like these guys, they think that they could sit behind a computer desk and tell oh yeah, Jamie shouldn't be in the event. Oh, this guy shouldn't be in the event. Bro, come talk to people that won contests, that people that like can like actually win these contests. Like don't leave out the local surfers. Like we were doing great for a long time when Randy Rarick was running the show. It was great, dude. Like he made a lot of good decisions. He was always going for bat. Every year we get 16 locals into the Pipeline Masters. Like
that was legit.
It was huge.
All
bro.
they have to do is give us a little more opportunity, or like as far as like the North Shore Underground and even. We had like us, like I'm dying to do a Pipe event, and I heard there's a couple come in town. I'm like, bro, how do we do it? It's just crickets, bro. Like,
that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, they're having the Challenger Series at Pipe. I'm like, I hope I get in.
Yeah.
Did they not see what we all did last winter? Like, bro, come on.
And everyone, and it's like, let the kids, or not kids, they're men and two in there, but it's like, let's all battle. Let's see
and the next generation, bro.
And we might get points. We might want to qualify too, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, more so for me, right? It's like I have had the opportunities, you know, like growing up, and that's the reason why I had the opportunity to compete in the Pipe Masters and win, is because I was given an opportunity. They're taking opportunities away from us and local surfers and pushing us aside to run their event.
Gotta give us a little chance, a little more chance.
And like, let's
even little more. Fuck.
Like, you know, let's say like you live in Hawaii, you're a surfer. There's a Challenger Series contest at Pipeline. So basically, if you ever want to get in that Challenger Series at Pipeline, it's what it sounds like to me. You're gonna have to travel around the world, you know, spend thousands and thousands of dollars to go in all these different locations to build enough points to get into the contest.
Well,
at your home break, right?
Technically, I think you just have to do the regional events, but then it's kind of tough to get in even the regional events, you know, for someone like you. And then you have to start from like the bottom, you know, and then it's like to get to the top, it's you only make a little bit of points, you know. So for someone like you, I feel like you'd have to do all these events, but you'd have to fly to Tahiti. Multiple times. Yeah. You'd spend from right now.
Like,
yeah,
you'd spend like $60,000 a year just to like maybe even get close.
Maybe not 60,000, but you'd have to spend a lot of money. And
that costs $1,000 a day to rent a car in Tahiti.
Well, that's what. Well, I think. Wait. So you might have to spend like 30,000. Yeah, to be honest, like.
And how many guys from the region get into the Challenger Series?
I don't know exactly, but from what I know, it's 5.
Yeah.
So it's like.
And how many amazing surfers?
Oh, we got 200 or maybe like 20. Yeah,
we have the best surfers in the world. Most of the best
on tour.
surfers.
We have 20.
Yeah.
And you're like you said, there's only 5, and then there's people like or whatever. We just want to get some pipeline, you know, and maybe the rest, but just feed us our first berry or our main one first. Yeah, we want some pipeline. Well, it's so hard to get in.
Well, before they used to have like before like the Pipe Masters had like a dedicated surf contest that was the trials.
I like that.
That you could win $10,000. Yeah.
To be honest, if it was like how it was a few years, like
the first good day of the holding, the first good day of the holding period, it's a trials day. It's
the guys. Yeah, it's 32 guys.
32 surfers.
16 guys would get in like by sponsors and then, international, whoever they wanted to give the sponsors and the corporates and everyone. You get 16 maybe, and then the locals get 16. Yeah, and then let them all play, and then we don't even get to mess. We don't even get to mess with the gnarly tour guys. We don't even get to mess with them. We're all just battling each other. That's where you and me were battling. Remember back in the day? And then you'd let 2 of us get through let 2 ants into the hive, you know, or whatever, and then we'd maybe do damage. But I feel like
that's how he won, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you won, right?
Yeah.
All the way from the trials.
Yeah. Really? Oh, when you won, you came from the trials?
Yeah.
Well, that was gnarly. When I got 3rd was from the trials too.
Yeah, so like that system works. It gives some local guys a chance.
Yeah, there's hope. And if you're real deal, you're going to get there, you know? Like.
Yeah, but we'll never know now.
No, it's like,
I feel like we almost have
they're
to.
working on it though, right? Someone's working on it.
I feel like we almost
right
have to start like some type of organization and talk to the city and county of Hawaii and like maybe like
That's what they used to do, you know.
express our opinions. Be like, hey, like we're all local surfers who love to surf Pipeline. There's all these contests at Pipeline. Most of us can't.
Do we have
participate.
someone? I think we. Is there not? I wonder.
Yeah,
Like I've never been. I somehow was always tuned out. Just
I don't know. It's usually like someone that's corrupt.
Some
corrupt surfer.
I want to talk to someone.
Yeah, that's what, I don't know.
And then they like point you to the gnarly guy. You're like, I'm good. I don't want to talk to him.
Yeah, you're like, I want to give my opinion. Never.
But one
Your
day,
opinion doesn't matter.
one day maybe.
Yeah, you gotta
no,
shot.
for sure. Well, I think we're just coming at this like this is positive. Like, there's nothing negative to
No.
anyone. We don't even know who to be negative to.
Yeah.
But it's like I think if we're just positive, you know, and we're aware of what's going on, maybe then we're gonna find our way in that thing, you know.
Yeah.
They gotta just let us know though. Like,
Yeah, totally.
how do we get in, or
how do we get
tell
into
us
our own
no,
contest?
or tell us no ASAP so we could like work on it.
Yeah.
And like I feel like how many guys like I feel like especially in your generation like who put in so much time out at Pipeline are like so respected and like so talented and have gotten like hundreds and thousands of good waves out of Pipeline, but like you'll never see any of them in any kind of event out at Pipeline. Like there's no like you know like a contest where just like everyone's just like, okay, we're gonna gather all the Pipeline legends and put them out there without 100 guys and just let them just like do their thing.
2001 was the coolest Pipeline contest ever. That's when Bruce
I remember
won.
that.
It was invitational only and no bullshit.
Yeah, my dad broke his shoulder.
Yeah.
Pretty heavy.
All the best guys from all around the world, all legit pipe surfers.
Yeah.
All
And
legit.
then the masters.
Yep.
Every master.
Yep.
I think where some of them were a little older, they're like, nah, it's okay. But they're like, okay.
Yeah.
Next. You know?
Sick.
And all the older.
And that sounds like the sickest contest ever. Like if I wanted to watch a contest at Pipeline, that's the one I would want to
I
watch.
think
Yep.
that was the vibe.
Totally. But
I remember that.
I mean, what do you guys think about when you're paddling into a bomb at Pipeline? Lucas? Like that big wave's coming, you're seeing it, you're laying eyes on it. What's the thought process?
Oh.
Just hopefully there's no big chandeliers. Hopefully no one drops in on me.
Walk us through like when you're paddling through a big wave at Pipe.
Yeah, I think it's just I think it's everything. I think it's fear, happiness, excitement, you know, all of that, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like you got to psych yourself up, but you're also a little scared and you're also like questioning like you know, cuz I feel like we all have this understanding of where we want to be position wise on a good wave at Pipeline. And so a lot of times you almost want to be a little deeper than that to really, really get the one you're looking for. So I feel like it's almost like this guessing calculation game, or, you know, it's like, where do I want to be to get this crazy wave, or, you know, and then like, but then there's also like all the guys, and then there's like maybe some people on the inside, and, you know, and then maybe the wave's going to close out. So it's like this, like you're like predicting as you're going what this wave is going to do, who's paddling for this wave. And are you actually going to even be able to catch it? Are you going to be able to make the drop? Are you going to be able to get a good pump and hopefully make the wave? You know, it's crazy. It's like a mathematical equation.
It is.
I like that breakdown. You nailed
Like
it.
this guy's crazy.
When I'm like looking, I like see the set, like maybe like, you know, like a minute out. I'm like, okay, here it comes.
A minute
and then,
out? Fuck, no
and
wonder
then-
why we're always
no, but I'm like, here it comes. Then I'm like looking at my positioning. I'm looking at like Mason's positioning. I'm looking at your positioning. I'm looking at Koa, Nate, John. I'm figuring out where they're at, trying to figure out when they caught the last set, trying to figure out, is it my turn? Am I going to take this wave? I think so. As it starts to come together, I'm like, okay, I'm going to start paddling first. I'm going to confuse half the crowd because I'm going to show the dominancy that, or like Jamie's going, they already like, in my mind, it's like a math
right
problem.
there. Quarter of them are done.
Yeah,
right?
quarter of them are done.
Right when they see him going, they stop.
I go, Jamie's going. 25% of those people stop paddling.
I'll just zip it though.
Then you got like this other 25%
that's
like
still ready, kind
Yeah,
of like, hey, does
like-
he know I'm up?
yeah. And then I'm trying to outfox the other foxes. You know, I'm trying to
like, watch
outfox,
out, you
trying to outfox Mason. I'm trying to outfox Koa, Makua, like whoever you
Yes.
name it. Like I'm trying to just outfox the fox and make like that like
Foxes.
Jamie's going.
Oh, there's so
yeah.
many. Oh,
Yeah.
darn.
It's nuts out there.
Preach.
And I'm like, boom. Next thing you know, the waves coming. You know, you got a couple stragglers left. You got Mason, Koa, like just freaking like sniffing.
Stragglers, you fucker. Man, I'm just kidding.
You got these guys like you got Lucas right under me like you got it. And I'm like I got
Lucas
it.
Is
And
ready to end this guy.
And then you're like worried because Mason's on a 7.6 and I'm on a 6.10.
I already quit, bro. Once I see you, by this point, I quit already.
And then you're like okay, boom, I got it. Like Lucas said, like it's like you gotta like bullshit the bullshitters. Like if you want that wave bad enough, and you gotta wait long enough, but like if you want it, so you just gotta
put in the bullshit. You're right.
You gotta outfox the foxes.
And that,
And like
and
boom.
you're right. Even waiting, like it just feels like kind of you're looking at your dream waves. So you're like, I want one, I want that one, I want this one. But you're like, you gotta put in the bullshit. You gotta wait. And you gotta watch your boys.
And you know when the right one comes up pipe, it looks like a freaking pyramid, bro. It's like this crazy teepee, and they start coming in and like this, and you're like, oh my god, you're like literally looking at the wave like so overly excited, like trying to calm yourself down before you drop in. Boom, dropping in. Like Lucas said, like a lot of times you could always be deeper. So when I look at a clip after, I'm like, oh, like I shouldn't have been stalling because obviously I wasn't deep enough. So my one thing is like, and boom, and you're like watching the barrel go over, you're throwing, you're scared. You're like, oh shit, like I can get hurt. Like I don't want to wipe out. And then there's people duck diving, there's photographers, and then there's the backdraft. Like, do I let go of my rail or do I just keep holding on to my rail and bulldog this thing right through? Cause the spit will suck you straight off the board back into the back of the tube. And that's a freaking, it's a wild ride going backwards in a barrel and then doing backwards somersaults. So then like, boom, getting spit out. And then you're like, what just happened? And then Lucas is like, oh, that was crazy. Or Mason's like paddling out or like laughing. And then boom, you see Mason on the next one doing it. And you're like, wow. Like
those are cool. And you get the back to back. How
So
fun is
sick.
it when you get like one of those waves where you're like, whoa, is that one of the best waves of my life?
Yeah.
Or at least was that top 50?
Yeah.
Top 20? and then all of a sudden you turn around and you see your boy get one. You're like, whoa, is that his top 20?
Yeah.
That's a special feeling out there, I feel like.
Yeah.
You guys are like ultimate geniuses at reading pipe waves. Like you're like Albert Einstein, and you're like Albert Einstein too. You guys are just like literally at reading pipe waves. Like I'm all like a lot of times I'm like watching you guys, and you're like, you guys are like.
Class.
You're
reading, right. You're funny, huh? You're reading off the reads, huh? You're reading off the reading.
I'm like, whoa, like you're bouncing on the board, like paddling this way. I'm like, whoa, it's crazy just, because like you're like, when you're seeing this wave come in, you're kind of like sizing it up. You're like, oh, do I paddle out? Do I paddle in? Do I paddle left? Do I paddle right? Do I like just sit there? Do I yell? Do I do I stay quiet?
For me, it's like it's a little tricky sometimes because I'll paddle out there and then there's those sweet spots where like okay, that's where the best waves come in. That's where you're a little deeper than this, but then usually, by the time we go out or whatever, there's like 30 guys out, 40, 50, 60, whatever, 20, 10. So I've noticed.
You see that many guys when you paddle out?
Kind of, right?
That's crazy.
How many do you see?
Like
80?
5 or 6.
5? Oh, you're heavy. You're the man, dude. Yeah. I mean, I try to see that one, but then they all pop up. Boop, 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 boop. As it gets closer, I'm like, fuck, I know every guy here. For the beach, I only need 3 now.
And then a lot of time there's a bunch of people in the way too, just as you're trying to paddle into the wave. You're like, even if like they're not like this crazy surfer that you recognize, or they might still just be like scattering like in all different directions, and you're like, like I'm stuck in this guy's leash, or I paddled over this guy,
it's
like
nuts, huh?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I tripped out like just those sweet spots that usually when I paddle out I want to go right to. There's everyone usually on it, because everyone knows the sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
You know the sweet spots. A lot of them know the sweet spots, those names you said. So it's like, sometimes I'll paddle and be like, damn, like it's just the whole, everyone's at the table at the sweet spot, at the desserts. Like now I got to go over here. Like I'm going to get one of these, maybe these average ones, or I'll maybe go, or I always end up like going to these spots where I don't even want to really be out there, but it's just to like kind of catch my, just kind of like, because when I get out there, I get so excited to see everyone too. I'm just like, oh, sick. It's all the boys. Like I miss everyone and it's cool, but at the same time, it's like, like I'm sure you guys, it's like, I don't want to talk to like nobody, like, or like, but then, so you got to mix the both, but then you'll see like you and so I'll see, I'm like, oh, I haven't seen Lucas so long, man. So the whole, I don't want to talk to nobody theory is just out the door. What's up, Luke? How's everything? You getting one? Oh, I hope I get one or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just funny how you gotta like, or I always catch myself like sitting outside the sweet spots, you know? So I'm like, always like, fuck, how do I find a way in? And then maybe Jamie will sneak one and you'll sneak one and someone will paddle one, miss one. I'll be like, okay, sneak in there. And then kind of like what you guys are saying, you paddle into the wave is another special whole big story.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I gave up calling Jamie off. I think the last time I tried to call you off a wave, I just airdropped and hit the reef.
Oh my gosh. Him? Jamie?
Did I drop it on you?
No, I just like,
go?
yeah, no, I yelled at him. I'm like, wow. Like,
I remember that. That wave was gnarly.
Yeah. Cause like he was going and then I like, you know, like, I'm probably operating on this like thought that like, if he wants it, I want it kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I try to like hoot him off and I'm like too far inside or something. And then I just get absolutely pounded. So
that was nuts.
Jamie usually you're really good at knowing what waves are good and bad and what they're doing. I've noticed a few times out there, cause sometimes I like have a good idea. Like I'd like to think I have a really good idea.
Yeah.
But
really good idea.
Yeah. But there's sometimes like, I like to sometimes just be like, I don't even care anymore. Like I'm going on this. And cause I feel like some that I never, usually my best ones, there's like a time in my gut where it's like, no, you know, but then I'll just be like, oh, it's a good one. And then I'll get maybe a good one, but then sometimes I'll get lit up and I'll be like, okay, that was a bad one.
Yeah.
But I notice when I'm by you, Jamie, sometimes, and when you're like, okay, fuck, or like, you kind of know maybe I'm up a little bit. So you're like, let's just get you out of here. So I could be up, you know, maybe. I don't know. That's the vibe I get. But I love that.
Mason away.
Yeah. Or not even sell.
Yeah.
I mean, I never thought you'd sell me one, but I thought you were just giving them to me. Yeah, good deals too. No.
Yeah, so all those waves I caught, you
Right?
I'm a salesman, bro.
I'm going to forget this anyway. I love you. But anyway, no, I just remember like, it's fun being by you, even like, or when you kind of are aware I'm up to, cause you'll be like, it's like a little extra. You're like, hey, because sometimes I'll be ready to go.
Yeah.
This is why I don't think you're selling me. It's because sometimes I'm ready to go and I'm going and you're like, I don't know about this one. And I'll just be like, oh, thank you. Because I was right about to switch it into my like dumb mode that I like to do. And sometimes it pays off. And I've had a few where you're like, I don't know about this one. You know, I don't want to. And sometimes I've gone even when you said that. And usually it's not good. And then almost every time maybe when I think about it. But there's been a few where you're like, oh, this one's nice. And I'll be like, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. And if Jamie says
like
it, then
validation.
it's on. Yeah.
I like it.
So those are some of my fun, like best feeling waves, you know, when the boys are right there, like, let alone you, because you know your shit out there.
No, I got a really good wave off of you. You're a little too far out this season and it backed off and loaded up underneath. And it was just like a real gnarly.
I tried to tell you to go early too. Like I could have kept trying because my big board sometimes lets me go over. Yeah. But I remember it was you and I was like, let's do it. And we had the long run of swell. So I was like, go get him. Yeah. And then I remember when you went, I heard the crowd, I seen the spit. I was like, oh my God, I wish I was a couple yards in.
Yeah, you're right there though.
Close. Like, I could have maybe, but I was like,
it's a matter of inches at Pipeline. From getting a good wave and a bad wave, it's inches. Yeah. It's exactly. It's like you could be where Lucas is right now and be too deep. Like it's that, or you could be where Lucas is and you're not going to catch the wave, and then Mason catches the wave right here.
And that's
even you could be where I am and you could almost catch it, and you could be where Lucas is, you can't catch it. You could be where you are and you're going to catch it. Yep. Right? So it's like a who, what? But it's like Lucas is up, even though he's not in the, you know, we'll just say not. You know, sometimes you got to let your boy go, but then you're like, oh man, I'm just like 12 inches. I would have got it. Yeah. But then your buddy's like, I don't know about it. I was like, I was 12 inches too. F you, man.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say. And then I see sometimes when you try to force it, like that's like when I got hurt, like I like was almost a little too far out, but I was like trying to force into it. I'm like, you know, cause it's like, I'm already committed. Like, I don't want to like not go. And then other guys will be like, oh, like, you know, like
he does this now.
We thought you were going, you know? And then like, I'm just going to force it in there. And then like you get hurt.
Maybe that's a good lesson to know too. Cause I think I've even got hurt once or twice just trying to like, I got to get in this wave that I already took, like some of my peers or some of the guys I look up to are already backed off. Like I'm taking this bomb on the head, or I'm going to like, I'll see if there's a bullet in the chamber.
Cause we're almost like, I feel like we're like operate on this like do or die thing. Like, you know, like how I grew up, it's like, you either catch the wave or you throw yourself over the falls. Like no matter what, you're going. Like if you pull back, everyone's like, what?
Same here.
I hate when I pull back and then like Mason and Lucas all look at me and Koa and John and Eli. They're like,
Don't get
And
worried.
but then they're probably thinking like, he didn't go. Like, what happened there? But like I didn't push the edge to go over the extra mile because I'm like, I already knew I was too late.
Usually we know if you back off though, we know something's up.
Because the wave's so gnarly, you can't like get mad at. At the end of the day, it's like you like as much as you might want to, it's like at the end of the day, it's like such a serious wave. It's like, and there's so much risk. It's like. If someone doesn't go, maybe like they were saving their
you
saving
gotta
themselves.
respect it to a certain
You feel shame though. You're like
I
tail
back
between
off,
your legs. You're like,
and maybe you feel that more than like maybe like we're all looking at you and you feel that way, but we're not even. We're like you might think we're like like he didn't go, but we're like oh wow, we're just like oh what he must have not went because it wasn't the right way.
Yeah,
but like in your own head you're like everyone thinks I pulled back.
Yeah, right. I feel like it's more for like the new guys out there, like the people you don't really see or know. It's like when you give them a chance or not give them, or when you see them and you them having their opportunity to go and they kind of like back off and you don't really those guys you don't know. Yeah,
they're done.
You're like, oh, this guy, I'm curious because this guy's been really wanting one and I've been seeing him wait. And I've been going on a couple, but I almost wanted to give him, or I almost was gonna.
And then you see him just freaking pull back, or jump over the falls. You're like, you're done.
Yeah, no, and then you're just kind of like, oh, okay, you can't.
Couple more years in the line.
Yeah.
I like to give guys the benefit of the doubt. You're like, you got this. Like you're gonna make it. You're gonna go, and then sometimes
you'll
see
benefit
that.
The doubt. Yeah. That one always like, I'm always like, okay.
All right, couple more questions. What's one? Sorry. What? If you couldn't surf, what would you guys do?
I mean, that's a gnarly one for me. You want to try that one? What is that? Farming? What do you want to do, bro?
Yeah,
farmer.
I find being the best farmer.
I mean, I don't really surf anymore, so that's what I.
What are you doing?
Have you been
what
farming?
Are you doing?
But with the back, all bus?
Little bit, but I'm definitely limited. I've been doing some gardening, some mellow stuff.
Sick. What do you snip it, or what do you do?
Yeah, I've been doing.
I need to learn.
Yeah, no, I've been planting seeds. I've been transplanting. Like planting some new plants. It's just obviously yard work is hard to do even when you're healthy. So it's definitely demanding with my injury, but I'm doing as much as I can. It's definitely like a hobby of mine. I like growing stuff. Do
you know how to grow soursop?
Oh yeah, I got a couple trees. I've grown.
I just ate one, and I was wondering. I have all these seeds. I'm wondering, like, how do I do it?
Put them in soil.
Just that.
Put them in soil, yeah.
Because isn't some you got to do a little more, yeah? Because couple, I threw them in the soil and they're going. I'm like, but not sour. It's just other tomato, whatever little things.
It depends. Yeah, sometimes you want to dry them out, then put them in the soil. Sometimes
what about
you want to put them straight in the soil. It depends on the tree, kind of.
So I've been eating them, putting them on the chopping, whatever. I've been eating it, and just spitting my seeds on the table. But I leave it in the fridge. It's been in the fridge. Should they not be in the fridge, or should I just throw them in the dirt? Should I just throw them in ASAP?
I would just throw them in the dirt.
You gotta get the little sack off the seed though, and then you dry the seed for like 4 or 5 days, like in a real like nice dry area, and then you
don't have to germinate it or do it and put it in the wet napkin or any of that.
You can do that too.
Just to pop them out.
Just look on YouTube, bro. You got this.
It kind of depends on the tree.
Check the podcast to learn how.
Wait. Just maybe.
What did you say, Luke? I need that.
He wants the sour saps, bro.
Yeah, well, that was like the latest one I was eating. I'm like, I need some of these. I'm no longer, I don't want to like spit out my seeds in the rubbish anymore. I want to grow everything.
Yeah, just
like if I'm eating it, I'm just like, plum. I'm going to try and grow this plum.
Yeah.
Even though, or whatever.
So
the one thing with the fruit trees though, not every tree is true to seed. A lot of the fruit trees, if you grow it from seed, it's going to have it's like a human. It's going to have
might be genes, a male or
it's going to have genes from two different,
mom and dad.
Yeah, mom and dad. So it's not gonna. A lot of times they don't make the exact same fruit as the one you ate, and sometimes it can be better.
Some cool sun or some.
Yeah, sometimes it can be worse. Sometimes the tree won't even like make fruit. It's just like here. But then some trees
that makes sense.
Some trees are better. Some trees are like you have a better chance than other trees.
So you got to do your research that you're going the right. Have your odds better for the place. So if it's like I'm just like plum, I like plum or apricot. Maybe the things like Hawaii, you ain't gonna get the good plum or apricot.
But the soursop you should do for sure. The soursop I've had really good success rate. I've grown a whole bunch of trees from seed. I have some that are like 20 feet tall and like have tons of fruit.
Dude, I was tasting. I was just mopping the thing a couple times. I had no food. I'm like, I got a soursop right there. I ate that. I was like,
those things are good for you.
All right. Well, last question. Gnarliest wave besides pipeline, backdoor, or off the wall on the North Shore. What wave scares you the most?
Curious about this guy. How would you answer that? Because Because
I mean, honestly, I think Waimea is one of the scariest waves just because it's so big and there's so many guys and it's just like everyone's party waving it and the shore break's insane.
Yeah,
And like
the paddle out's gnarly
rocks,
nowadays too. It's like shallower than way back. It
Maybe.
seems like.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. It seems like that.
I think
all
like
the old footage in the 50s, they're like,
Just
it's like
cruising
20
out.
it's like so big, and then it's just like, it just seems like the channel's all mental, you know.
Yeah.
But the way
maybe the sand's coming back.
something's
Took all
up.
our sand. It's coming back.
Yeah,
I think to me, like when I think about that, I think like log cabins is pretty gnarly. Just a reef, and then every once in a while you get the right swell. It's freaking shallow, gnarly, and dangerous. You know, I'm just definitely scared of like,
back that.
yeah, definitely scared out there. And rock piles,
When it's big.
rock piles. There's a lot of water really close to the shore, and it just freaking works you in the bottom, super gnarly.
Yep.
Waimea, I'm scared of Waimea. I'm always scared I'm gonna drown.
Sunset too. Sunset's gnarly.
Yeah.
Remember the guy passed away at Waimea, just like the wave broke on, or he like went over the falls. Remember I forget his name. I'm bummed I did, but remember he rode the wave with Kelly, I think right before. He got like I think like he was on like the cover even.
Yeah.
And then the next wave, I think he went over. the
Yeah, I
falls
remember
and
that.
Passed away.
Yeah.
All the outer reefs are honestly so gnarly. That
Yeah.
There's just
Yeah, all
there's
the
so
Hawaii
many-
outer
there's so
reefs.
many.
Yeah, those things scare me.
Haleiwa is gnarly, bro.
Woo.
That's probably one of my heaviest beat downs of my life, Haleiwa. Yeah. So there's a lot of waves
mine
out
would
here
be
on the North
Waimea
Shore.
too, I think Waimea. Or to be honest, there's a few that are like so creepy. I haven't even gone and tried. You know.
What
Like
about
Waimea.
Twisted Sisters? You try to surf that wave yet?
I've never heard of that, but I want to. That's the sickest. That's sick.
Dude, it's the wave between backyards and V-line. It breaks in the middle and it just
Oh,
goes
I
like
heard
this.
about
It goes-
that. No, yeah, I surf. That's like one of my favorite spots. I surf that all the time.
That
Or
was
like I
nuts.
have a few times. Yeah.
Try to surf at 20 foot.
Oh, I know
It's
you want to know
psychotic.
something gnarly. I've got sucked out. At one time, I pretended I wanted to like just sit and let them explode in front of me.
Oh my God.
Boo, and then just turn around and get them because I just wanted to be out. I was like young and kind of like whatever. It's being kind of dumb. And there's this weird inside reform that's on it. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of weird. But anyway, yeah, no, I remember I almost got sucked out into that thing when you said 20 foot
Yeah. it's
because you
nuts
can't
out
just
there.
sit there and hang out.
No.
The current's like,
Yeah, it's so gnarly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sucking straight out the sea.
Don't try to surf Twisted Sisters.
Adam Crawford almost
He likes
died.
it? Oh, yeah?
Well, no, well, that day when I couldn't, I like turned around, he just kept going, yeah. And then
Gnarly.
I think that yeah,
Almost got
I
sucked
almost had
out
to
to
get
sea.
saved, yeah.
That's gnarly.
That's spooky.
It was gnarly.
Well, we're gonna end the vlog or the pod. Thanks, Lucas, bro. I appreciate you coming on the pod.
Thank you.
Glad you're doing better, healing up. Hopefully, we'll get you back in the water this winter at Pipe. Happy to share some epic moments with you again. But you know, like just the craziest part was, man, just like going to see you and you just being in a back brace, laid out in bed, and like now it's so, you know, it's so enlightening to see you like kind of starting to live your life again. We went up and celebrated your birthday a few days ago. Happy birthday.
Sick.
And yeah, he's hiking up at like Mount Kaala with all his friends, and it was just like a beautiful vibe, and just good to see you back on your feet and living your life again. Like that was gnarly, and like I said, all those people that supported you, thanks to all those people, and we're grateful you're here, you're healthy, and looking forward to, you know, sharing more good times together.
Yeah, feels good.
Yeah.
Stoked to be feeling better and yeah, get back in the water slowly and just pick away at the recovery process and just stronger and a little better every day.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Mason.
So sick. Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for coming, Lucas. Super stoked.
Yeah, and congrats on 100,000 subscribers, Bob Mason. You did it.
Oh, bruh, you guys, thank you so much. Keep them coming in, bruh. We love those subscribers. Yeah, I swear, once I hit 100, it kind of kept moving a
I
little
saw it
bit.
was at
nice,
105 or something.
Yeah,
I was like,
100, yeah, so,
or I don't even know.
You're right,
no, I was like, oh, sick. Mason hit it. Did you get your plaque yet?
Not that I know of. No. I
Oh,
don't
you got
even know. I gotta
to
tell.
you got to request it.
I want my boy Rory to have that thing.
No, you
So-
guys could both get one.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys
Figured
both
I'd
getting
get
one.
some Inspiration.
Yeah, you guys both got a lot going on.
It's a
yeah?
celebration of life right
Hey,
there.
hundo, bro. Come on, guys. Keep subscribing. I love that. We love
Jamie's
those
having
numbers.
Jamie's having a kid.
Oh
too.
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah. Congratulations,
thanks.
Jamie.
Tina-
On my due date.
Tina, yeah.
That's my birthday.
Yeah, let's go. September 1.
No
September
way.
1.
Yo,
Yeah.
I love it.
That's
I'm not
tough.
having the baby. Tina's having it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's a team.
It's
right?
your it's your
the
child,
family.
man.
I've been in the
It's your
gym
child.
trying
Still
to.
your birthday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been in the gym trying to keep that dad bod off.
No jokes.
Yeah.
Good job,
Looking
man.
solid,
Good
man.
job.
Not
yeah.
bad, not bad.
Looking solid.
Could be better. Could be better.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks, you guys.
Gonna be a good dad, man.
I hope so.
Be a good dad.
Oh yeah,
I'm so
dream
nervous.
pops right there. Yeah, dream pops.
And then next, Mason.
Get me some toys.
I'll pave the way for the boys.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm right behind.
All right. All right. Well, time to end it. Don't forget, click the link right here to subscribe to Mason and our channels. And yeah, thank you guys for watching the podcast. We drop podcasts on the last Friday of every month. Please check us out on all social platforms, all streaming platforms. And yeah, drop a comment below if you guys want or request guests or any questions. We're here to answer them.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We really appreciate it. Keep it coming. And let us know, like Jamie said, any guests, anyone you could think of, we're open to everything.
We're taking over the world.
Everybody.
We're taking over the Pipeline Masters.
Dude, we're going to farm your land.
Pipeline Invitational. He picks all the surfers.
Let's go.
And him. These two guys pick all the surfers.
Oh my God. No pressure. Yeah.
We got this.
It could be like a 3-4 day event. A couple hundred guys.
Oh, let's do
Couple
it.
hundred.
Oh, like back in the day.
Oh, love it. All right. Peace. See you guys.